So let's get into the idea of balance. When we're talking about body movement, balance is going to mean keeping a stable position where you're not falling forward, back, or to the side, and being able to hold that position with stability and hopefully with some degree of ease. When we're standing on two legs, that is pretty easy for a lot of people. Balance becomes much more challenging when we have to stand over one leg. When we're walking, there's always a period of time called the stance phase where only one foot is going to be on the ground, and that's where balance becomes the most challenging. When we're walking, we are transitioning the body between 2 points of balance. We have a point of balance over the standing leg here, and then we have a point of balance with 2 feet on the ground, and then we have a different point of balance when the rear leg is just about to leave the ground and the body is almost over the forward foot. And then when we swing through, now we have a point of balance with the spine directly over the standing leg and the head directly over the standing leg. If the spine is not directly over the standing leg, then we are not in a stable, balanced position. We may be in a position of transition. And when we're walking, there are multiple points of transition and only one point where the head is going to be directly over the foot. Let's talk about the spinal rotation, the activation of the core that we use to create balance, root, and direction. Once we begin walking down the street, we have to be able to control the motion and place the foot naturally. And so this is where our core spinal rotation really kicks in, because movement forward or in any direction isn't just about going in a line. It is going to come from multiple rotations, from our upper waist here, from our lower waist here, and rotation from our hip joints, all working together to create the movement and to create the balance. So I'll give you a little bit of a drill that you can do right now. In place, and you're going to put both feet together, and what we're going to do is try to get our balance directly over one leg. We're going to start by rotating everything towards the leg you're moving away from. And I want you to take kind of your upper waist, so think about your rib cage, and take your lower abs, think about your belly button, and turn them toward the leg you're going away from. And that you're going to naturally, without pushing, have the weight shift toward the new standing leg. We have now got our spine closer to that leg, but not fully. What we're going to do now is continue turning the upper waist towards the leg we're leaving, but now I want you to take your belly button and turn it toward the new leg that we're going to be standing on. Now we have what's developing some spiral rotation. One part of the waist turning this way, the other part of the waist turning that way. And it brings us even closer to our head being over that standing foot. And then now there is one more thing we have to activate in order to get the swing leg foot off the ground, and that's going to be activating our hip joint here. We've activated our upper waist, we've activated our lower waist, and now when we activate our hip muscle here, pulling forward, that pulls us into this swing through position. And you'll notice if I do this from the side view, first rotation, second rotation, lower abs, activate the hips. And then now I have my head directly over my foot. But I'm not standing like this. Because of the rotation of the spiral, my pelvis has rotated this way. My upper waist rib cage has rotated the opposite way. And that brought my swing leg forward while getting my head directly over my standing foot. So now I am perfectly balanced and ready to complete the step by moving into the next step. And I do that by engaging the rotation again to bring the heel down. But you'll notice when I bring the heel down, of course, I'm no longer balanced over the standing leg, nor am I balanced over the new leg that I'm walking on. This is a transitional position when we're walking. We're going from one step to another step. We are not suddenly landing in the new step. There are phases of gait that are named, and the first one is called initial contact, where the heel comes down. After initial contact, then we have the loading response, where the flat of the foot comes down, and you notice I get closer to the foot where I'm going to be balanced on. And then we have the initial and mid-swing portion of the step here that now brings the head directly over the foot. And again, now I'm ready to then engage the rotation in the opposite direction. First bringing the heel down, lower abs. Now that's the spiral rotation I was talking about. That gets the loading response done and shifts me to this position. And now keeping the spiral here, I activate the hip to create the swing through. Now I'm balanced and I'm ready to continue forward. Now I want to talk about one additional muscle group that I haven't mentioned yet that is critical for maintaining that balance on one leg. And that's the gluteus medius, which is on the side back of your butt. The gluteus medius, if I'm using it on the side of my swing leg, takes the leg out. That's called abduction, abduction. When I'm using the gluteus medius on the side of the standing leg, what it does is prevents the pelvis from tipping this way. So that same abduction that I did with the swing leg, when I'm on the standing leg, it's going to pull my pelvis up in this position. It's really the same action. So by activating this muscle, it keeps me balanced over the standing leg, especially when I've engaged the spiral of the upper waist and the lower abs together. If I were to take the lower abs and turn my belly button to the right, it's going to throw me automatically off balance. So keeping that spiral activated, in addition to the activation of the gluteus medius, is essential for proper balance. As we take each step, we're engaging these muscle groups in order of their importance in that particular part. The upper abs have to engage first to bring the heel down, and then the lower abs are going to engage to tuck the pelvis and turn the belly button towards this standing leg, helping to bring my spine closer and closer and closer to the standing leg, preparing for that balance. And as that's happening, my gluteus medius should be kicking in automatically to prevent the pelvis from tipping this way. So it's activating in conjunction with the spiral to keep this position. And then we just alternate the rotation to the opposite side, beginning with the upper waist, then the spiral with the lower waist, and then the hip to pull us through. And then we have the full balance in cooperation with our gluteus medius. When you're working on your balance, I'd recommend practicing that single leg stance. And instead of standing in this position, I would stand in this activated position where we have the spiral and the gluteus medius going. From the side of the standing leg, reach your arm forward. That reflects the rotation from the upper waist. Turn your belly button toward the side of the standing leg, so that's the spiral, and then make sure you have your gluteus medius engaged so you feel a little bit of a squeeze in the back of the butt, and you should feel, or sorry, I should say the back side of the butt, not the glutes in the very back of the butt. Back side of the butt is where your gluteus medius is. And then you should also feel your iliopsoas muscles. This is your core hip flexors kind of pulling your spine forward. That should be the concept there, finishing off this position. But when we do this motion through rotation, the spiral, the hip, and your gluteus medius, you're not going to appreciate any significant heavy heel impact. You could walk around barefoot like this on concrete if you're doing it correctly, and you're not going to feel anything negative affecting your body. You should feel very smooth, very fluid with every step. If you've made it this far in the video, that helps the channel so much, and I really appreciate you. Also, if you're interested in helping out the channel, you can become a member, or you can also jump over to the website, which will be linked in the description section, and sign up for the walking code. My new concept, or the new course I have, is the 7-day walking reset. I highly recommend that as a starting point. But you can check out all of the stuff on the website I have. There is so much content for real walking technique. I think you'll find it amazingly beneficial for your gait. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.